Rado wakes from a deep sleep and finds himself in a world where 5 men exist in the world due to an epidemic. He is selected for breeding as a part of a repopulation program. Welcome to Pervy Recaps. Today I will explain a 2021 anime called World's End Harem. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. The story begins as a young medical student identified as Mizuhara Retail is seen to be confessing his feelings to his childhood friend Arisa. It also clearly dissipates that the two have come a very long way in liking each other. However, things take a solemn turn when he reveals that he was diagnosed with an incurable disease called cellular sclerosis. He painfully explains how he would have to be induced into cold sleep for 5 years to be cured. Obviously, this doesn't end that well for them as he proceeds to undergo his treatment, while his older brother and sister accompany him for their temporary last moments. Before the inducement takes place, Arisa shows up crying and muttering she would wait for him after the 5-year duration. Razo hands her his precious necklace as a sign that they would surely meet up no matter what. His stay in cold sleep for 5 years eventually elapses, and the events welcoming him are rather ironic of what he was anticipating. Realizing he is the only living male amidst 5 million women in the world, and how a virus termed MK virus has successfully wiped out the existence of the male gender during the space of 4 years, through the aid of the personal assistant attending Tordo, he is being introduced to the number 1 man who survived the MK virus through the cold sleep. He also learns that there are 4 other men in the cold sleep too. Rado's assistant also uses every given opportunity to convince him about his mandate, that is, to sleep with as many women as he pleases, so the reproduction of offspring, most especially baby boys, would be possible. Rado downright turns down the offer so many times, even though he is being seduced or shown a variety of available women prepared for him. His main resolve is to find Arisa after he discovers she is missing, and to discover a cure for the raging MK virus. During the course of his research, he gets a hold of a clue Arisa left behind for him. It also states that the virus was man-made by liars and acts of deception. Rachel also goes ahead to do a live broadcast letting the world know that there is a man alive. This action, however, leads to the conclusion that the United Women Japan branch are hiding the information of having men under their watch. As the news comes out as a shock to all, a bullied teenage boy wakes up from a cold sleep and becomes the number 3 man to survive. Facing the reality of what he has become, he lives in disbelief of his new life. He gets to reunite with his old teacher, who always stood for him when he was constantly bullied years ago. Memories from his former high school life surfaces as flashbacks when he tries to adapt to the new world he has to face. He gets to continue his high school education and his former school, but this time it is way different, as he is surrounded by female students who seem to be all over him. No sooner does he get adapted to his circumstances, high soul teacher and him get a moment alone in her dorm room, and from there they make love for the first time, sparking a romantic affair between both of them. Things are quite difficult for the number 3 man as he tries to adapt to the girls surrounding him. Most of the time they fight over him, and the situation is quite hilarious as he runs from one girl problem to another. The reality of not seeing his old teacher for a very long time breaks him when he is informed that she is transferred to another city. Deciding he would enjoy his best life without her, he takes advantage of the situation and slowly gets himself loose in meeting with the girls around him. He is no longer the innocent boy anymore, as the coldness in his eyes indicate a surge of hatred for all the bullying he faced years ago. He will definitely make up for it by engaging in different lustful adventures that are quite wild, letting him explore things he always wanted to do sexually. The UW headquarters sends representatives down to Japan after discovering they've hidden the existence of 5 men away from the entire world. Back at the abandoned hospital, Rado and his team go further in on their investigations and discover a strange facility. Bursting into the scene without meaning to, they meet the technical director and her team, who seems to be carrying out suspicious activities. Knowing they have been caught, the technical director aims to finish Rado and his team off, but the act did not go through, as they were outnumbered by the director of the UW operations and her team, who shot them all, saving Rado and the rest in the process. The evidence they could have gotten on the UW Japan branch and the cure to the MK virus is all cleared when the whole building gets consumed by planted bombs. As soon as they all escape on time, we also get to see the number 3 man has willingly given in to his lawful desires without holding back, engaging in more physical contacts with his female peers, and living in the liberty of his own reality of mating at will. An unknown strong terrorist group begins to take drastic actions by getting hold of all living men they cannot succeed at capturing number 3. though it was a close one there. This clips him as to why so many strange things are happening lately. His assistant later reveals the whole truth, that he was always made to believe he was the only man existing in the world, but definitely we all know those are lies. She also goes ahead to inform him of the terrorist movement that has been raging outside the academy wall since he was never allowed to leave the school. Meanwhile, the UW director's aide puts the UW Japan branch under arrest for defiling orders and concealing the men from the whole world. They take up the number 1 and the number 2 men under their custody to protect them from the terrorists. A twisting case of events happen when the terrorists hijack the airwaves. We see Arisa as their leader as she makes some claims indicating that they have catered away with the number 5 man successfully. They also insisted that they are not the bad guys at all, rather, they are a body called the Tsunami who would protect the world from lies. The UW is feeding the whole world. The most shocking reveal she makes is that the U-body are the ones creating the MK virus themselves, as their aim is to totally wipe out the existence of men and start up a world with women only. Now this gets interesting as we hit the apex of this anime season. Everyone is either debating on the UW or Tsunami side, or they are too shocked to absorb the state of things that are happening. Rado is one of the conflicted humans as he really wants to rely on the Tsunami, but the UW clearly dismisses the news as fake. He also gets to meet the number 3 man for the first time as they have a little chit-chat about the events rocking them. Rado later makes a decision with his former assistant planning an escape plan, but they were eventually captured by the director's aide for conspiracy plans. This shows us that indeed the UW are guilty of what the Tsunami accused them of. How shocking, however, the arrest was not possible as they were ambushed by Rado's team, recapturing him from their hands. They also get swift assistance from the locals to make an escape to Taiwan, where Arisa and the Tsunami group would receive them. Lastly, Ratio gets in touch with all the people that stood by him and supported him. As his team finally makes their escape through water transportation, finally getting to Taiwan, he gets to reunite with his childhood love, Araso. The moment stirs and warm our hearts. Despite all the challenges they both went through, they persevered, and they were able to reunite. Eventually, they both decided to take down the UW body together with its own team and the Tsunami group so the world would be able to regain its normalcy of having met. And again, what an eventful season this anime has been. For more anime recaps like this, be sure to subscribe to Pervy Recaps and hit the bell icon. As always, like, comment and share to help out our channel. Thanks for watching.